Okay, welcome to a very important class on relative clauses. Relative clauses are really important because there are loads on any page of any book. And I want to show you the difference between defining and non-defining relative clauses. Sometimes they're called restrictive and non-restrictive, sometimes essential, non-essential. They have a few different names, but personally I like the name defining and non-defining because I think that that is the clearest way of showing the student what the relative clause actually does. It either defines which one or it doesn't define which one. Now I think this is quite badly taught in a lot of different places, and I think it's because it's quite badly understood. It's poorly understood what's going on here with defining and non-defining, and I think it's often because it's taught as essential and non-essential, and people think, well, what does that mean? How do I know if information is essential like here or if it's non-essential like here? Good question, and the answer is defining or non-defining. If it defines which one, it's essential, and if it doesn't define which one, it's non-essential. Now, the reason I think this is quite poorly understood and poorly taught is because I was taught that in any sentence, if you can take information out, it needs to be in commas, and that's untrue. Yeah, I mean, I could take out who were injured. Yeah, the soldiers were taken to hospital, but I could make this a defining or I could make this a non-defining relative clause by adding the commas or by taking them away. And the truth is, it has a different meaning. Either of those are possible. Yeah, both of those are possible. Let's put it like that. Both of these are possible, but they have different meanings. And so it's simply not true that if you can take the information out, you need to use commas. That sometimes is true and sometimes it's untrue, and I'm not going to teach it like that at all. Okay, so I want you to look at these two first sentences. The soldiers who were injured were taken to hospital, no commas, and the soldiers who were injured were taken to hospital. These mean two different things. Now let me underline the relative clause first. This one's a defining relative clause. We know that because it doesn't have commas. And this one is a non-defining relative clause, and we know that because non-defining relative clauses do have commas. Okay, so one more thing, we can use the relative pronoun that in a defining relative clause instead of who. So we can say the soldiers that were injured were taken to hospital without commas, but we can't say the soldiers, comma,